because I'm upstairs now. I need a microphone. Um, oh, it's midnight on a Saturday. Not a shock. It was a busy day today, um, which we don't have to go into right now. To start this wonderful video, if you can call it that, I came into this room this evening to finish building the supercar, the 8880, and I found a blue 2x4 brick on my desk. And I'm going, I don't remember leaving a blue 2x4 brick on my desk. But Sandy had bought that at one of our shows. It was supposed to be a stocking stuffer last year. I guess it fell between the cracks. And she found it today and just put it on my desk. And I'll tell you, the joy, because I was just sitting there on my desk, like there or something like that. And I'm going, why? I'm building this car. There's no blue 2x4 bricks in it. And then going, that's very odd. So I picked it up and just, I am blessed across the board. So yeah, I finished building an 8880, which means that I have yet another empty box. So I of course bought an 880 back in the day when they were available on the store shelves. I didn't buy the 853 because that was when I was like 10 or 11, and I couldn't afford it. I do have an 853, but I did buy the next 3 or 4 supercars, if you want to call them that, off the store shelves because they're awesome. This is the third, well, actually fourth, if you can count the 853. This is the 4th supercar that they put out, and it's the most, obviously, because this 4th one is the most intricate and complex out of all the first 4 supercars. And I think in its way, it looks the best too, because they did this all by brick. There's no flex tubing, there's no panels, there's no anything in here besides Technic pieces and basic brick. Very little basic brick, but there's a couple 1x3s and 2x3s. But this is all Technic brick and plates and gears and whatever. And they formed the actual shell of the car using brick and not just the flex hoses, the flex tubes and stuff. It's literally amazing how they did this. It's not as good as the space shuttle, but then again, you're comparing apples to oranges. The space shuttle is not a supercar. The space shuttle is my favorite Technic set of all time. But when I built this thing the first time years ago, I said, just wow. Like even the picture in the box that showed you this car, and I'm looking at the box picture on my laptop, or the instructions. It's just a fantastic set, and the functionality. So the first supercar, which we'll probably talk about in a second, did not have any suspension, and it didn't have a universal from the engine and the transmission. It only had a 2-speed transmission to the back axle. It only had a crown gear. And what was interesting about the first one, it had adjustable seats, which it's just okay. The second one had suspension, rear suspension, but no front end suspension. And again, probably a 4-cylinder engine, if I remember correctly. The third supercar, the red one that I'll pull up here momentarily, had all-wheel suspension, but only rear-wheel drive and only front steering. This thing has suspension. Just to show you. There we go. 4-wheel suspension, and this is the favorite thing. 4-wheel steering, and 4-wheel drive. So they did all that: 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel steering, 4-wheel suspension, and then they also built a body over it. The only thing that this car didn't have that the previous 2 cars had, is 3 cars I think, is adjustable seating. The seats do not move back and forth, which was a feature in the previous 3 cars. These cars are these seats are brick built and they're kind of stuck in there. It has pop-up headlights. Look at that, pop-up headlights. What they did that in the previous car too. And the back end where the engine is, it pops open like that, so you can see the engine. It's a V8. Kind of cool. So not only do you turn the steering wheel up here to make the wheels turn, but they have a hand of God steering wheel back here, this little rubber tire back here to make the wheels go back and forth. The other very interesting part about the 4-wheel steering is that the front tires steer more than the back tires, and that's actually legit from real life too. If you have a 4-wheel steering car like the Honda Prelude that I had one at one point, the back tires steer less than the front tires, and I love how they did that in here. So this is a remarkable achievement with just basic braking gears all the way through. There are 3 universals in here to get the powertrain to go to all 4 tires. So you won't have the, as they said in My Cousin Vinny, you know, one slips, whatever. The differentials. I mean, it's pretty cool, and even the color scheme with the yellow stripe through it, all the way through to the back. And as they said, the pop-up headlights, and also the brake lights in the back. Get this thing down. The brake lights in the back. You can see the here, red, trans red, and clear for backup lights. And mirrors on the side. You got mirrors in the window here. It's just astounding. So I bought this originally. This is not my original car. This came from a used lot that I bought off a friend. So I'm going to put that there. And I say, as they said in Contact, why build one for the price of one when you can build 2 for the price of 2? So I actually emptied both boxes. I had 2 of these in box in the shoe boxes, and I said, let's build both of them. So that's what I did over the last 2 nights, is build both of them. One of them I'm going to bring to Bricklink. I'm going to bring the bricks in the 6 to sell. This one. This one is not my original. This is my original because all the stickers are on it. This one has no stickers on it at all, which is fine. But when back in the day, I would put stickers on my build. I believe right now I could build a 3rd one of these, but because I got basically the unique pieces, or these wheels and the joints therein, I have lots of those pieces from used lots, so I could possibly build a 3rd one of these. I'm not even going to try today, but I thought about it, and I don't need 2. So one of them is going to go to Bricks in the 6 for sale. But to talk about this whole other thing, so this is the 853. Excuse me, spatial. And this. Let's just get rid of one. The other good part about this car is you can pick it up right here in the center, and it's very, very stable. So I'll put that over there. And it's just this. Put that there. Put that there. Put this here. So this guy, first car, V4 or straight 4, and it does have front wheel steering, and the seats go back and forth. But you can see it just has crown gear going to the crown regular gear. So that this thing is solid rear axle, which again, if you watch My Cousin Vinny, it's not the best thing to have. And it has 2 speeds. So this is a 2-speed gear train. It's really hard to move unless you're moving the tires. So not a lot of functionality, but it was their first kick at the can in 1977. So this is 1977 for the 853. And this 1977 to 1994. That's not bad. Like 15 years, 6 years, 17 years. Between 1977 and 1994, this is what they got to. Now, after this, they added the flex tubes, or the flex whatever, and the corrugated tubes and the panels and blah blah blah. And they went to studless. There are no studless beams in here. There's a couple studless half beams in here, but that's just the standard ones that they used to have everywhere back then at the beginning. But it is all brick. And then this guy, the predecessor, the one right before this one, again, adjustable seats, again, for whatever reason, front wheel steering. And this one is the one that actually came with full suspension, a little more about, and the universals in the back, differentials in the back, but again, no front wheel drive. And it came with 3 speeds. So this one had 2, this one had 3, and this one has 4. So they kept on making better speeds. This is, again, all just basic brick. This one had a very interesting gear shift, and I don't think it came in any other set, because you can see it's an H gear shift, almost like a real car, where you have to move. Let's see, you can see it. So there's 2 gears there, and there's 2 speeds there, and of course right here is neutral in the middle. This was a really cool gear transmission that basically worked a lot better than all the other transmissions that they came before, and probably even since that came in a set. Though I never kept up with them past the 8448, didn't bother. I don't know. I'm gonna probably build the one that came out between this one. Or I can easily use this one. Broke a seat. Oh, the other thing is, it's really cool. Look at the seats in there. They're very contoured. They got like headrests and everything, which is kind of cool, which is better than a plate-built seat. These things are just plates. And then that's better than the brick-built seats that is. They put some effort into it. So there's one in between this one and this one that, again, I bought off the store shelves, and I'm gonna possibly put it together, not before Bricks in the 6, because that's in like 7 days, 6 days for me. Less than that, because today's Sunday and I'm going there Wednesday. But I'm gonna have one of each, and I'm gonna sell the other one, the spare. And again, I had 3 or 4 of these guys. I have the entire set in the box over there, all the parts in the box. I have this one, and I sent one to a very good friend of mine that I collaborated on his book on. He's one of my favorite builders. I don't see him enough, but he never had the 853, just like I never had the 853 when we were kids. And that was one of those coveted ones. And I said, I happen to have a spare. And really sending him the parts for this thing. Are you kidding? This is all basic brick and basic Technic brick. If you have any sort of collection from the 70s and 80s, you can build this car. Piece of cake. This one takes a lot more intricate pieces. The other thing I noticed, and I don't know if it's age, and we call it the brittleness of Lego as they get older, instead of like brittle brown, which from the factory they're breaks. But the second one that I built, mine original one, these are the pieces that are broken, and like you can see that, there we go, that's broken. This guy split somewhere. Yeah, there is a split there, so he's broken, and even these little round things are cracked. So I had to replace all these. So, and there was even more. I started saying if it's round like this and it will stay on the axle, then I'm leaving it in, even though I notice a crack in it. That's why it's on mine and not the one I'm going to sell. So it is what it is. Pieces get old, and that's why these are just display models. The You know, they always say Lego's a new toy every day. That's the theme that I grew up with. On the commercials and everything, you're supposed to, you know, tear it apart and build something new all the time. The older sets, such as the Galaxy Explorers and such, the pieces break now, especially if they're really stuck together and you try to take them apart, the pieces will just break. And so I do not mind leaving these together because there's literally no pieces in here that I need for anything else, which is a good thing. The one thing about this guy, the last guy, and the one I just built, the one we're talking about, whoops, fix that later. The white has drastically yellowed on both cars. You can see on both cars the yellowing of the interior, and in here, the yellowing. I know mine was together for a long time. I'm sure this card was for my friend was also together for a long time and probably sitting on a shelf somewhere in the living room. Just wow. And it's interesting which pieces didn't yellow, because if you look at it on both sets, the center console is basically all yellowed except for this 2x4 yellow white brick slope. It didn't yellow at all, or the 2x2 white slope on each end. They didn't yellow at all, but the console and the chairs and whatever else, most of the other yellow pieces, drastically yellowed. All the white pieces, they drastically yellowed. I'm going, that's very odd, but it's also expected. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I built two. I'm glad I'm going to sell one, because again, downsizing. And there we go. All of them are in a row. All my ducks are in a row. Let's put that there, put that there, put that there, and put that there. I mentioned this the other day about the wheelbase. So if we take this car, for example, let me hold it upside down like that. Let's see if I can do this nicely. And we grab this car, which is the second car. And again, the second car you can pick up by the center thing, and you put it on top of this car. Oops, let me see if I can hold it properly. I'm gonna hold that there. I'm gonna hold this on top there. You can see the wheelbase is basically identical. Like, there's not even a stud off, which is I found very, very odd. And I think the second car, and then you get this car, and you put it on there. Basically, it's like, well, this one's a little smaller wheelbase. The black one has a smaller wheelbase than, let's see if it's, yeah, it has a smaller wheelbase than the original, and the red one. So there's a couple studs in. That's a little bit odd. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be identical wheelbase, but I find that odd. But anyway, they were just fun back in the day. Now they come out with Technic sets all the time now. I don't know if they still call it Technic, because I don't pay attention. But they come up with little tiny things, and they come up with big things. And the Unimog was one of those coveted ones. I never got it. Well, I haven't really bought any real big Technic sets since the 8448 and the big crane that we all bought as in RTL Toronto, which I may put together at some point and sell. But I want to keep one copy of these things, and they're probably going to stay together now, because taking them apart would just be, you know, begging for more broken parts. So these are going to stay together. I've put this guy back together. I found all the pieces that I was missing. Put it back together. So he's together. And as I said, I'm going to build the other one. And I'm also going to rebuild the 8448. So there's going to be another video with all these cars in it. So look forward to that. Thanks for coming along. Oh, wait, the 8880 came out in 1994. And it had 1,343 parts, 1,343 parts. And you can build an F1 Formula car with the alternate model, which they gave me the instructions. I didn't ever try to build that. I built this car once. This was mine. And I put him on display, and he stayed on display until I moved here, and then it ended up in the shoebox. And that was 20 years ago, because I didn't have any space to display him. So, where's that in? That's it. I think I've covered all the bases in this one. I hope, there's her horn. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.